Check. I'm missing some kind of audio mixer. Maybe not. Happy Thursday. We ended up, we ended the introductory, what do you call it? Introductory course for Linux. We finished that yesterday and I figured I would start fresh with the Git introductory today. Camera's a little bit different. My wife's using the nice camera, so this is the backup. The backup camera. Filmed in 10 frames a second. Can't catch me. Better than nothing. This is my old, like, Logitech work video camera or whatever. That's not bad. It's not great either, though, but... like, I haven't done any picture balancing and stuff like that, but this light makes me fucking yellow. Like, more yellow than yellow. Ugh. It's almost summer, so I can get a tan. So I don't look like a ghost sitting in a basement. Alright, so we get on with Git. There is 11 chapters. Author, the Parmigian. Spent 10 years at Netflix ranking performance critical software and has become deeply passionate about building developer. I've seen this guy on YouTube. He comes across my YouTube feed sometimes.
In 2005, after license disputes with BitKeeper, Linus Torvalds, creator of Linux, you may have heard of it, sort of runs the web, not a big deal, decides to write his own version control. He wrote Git in 5 days, and within a couple years, it became a widely used version control, and now, today, it is the de facto standard for all developers. To be clear, when I say Git, I don't mean an insult from across the pond, and I don't mean GitHub, GitLab, Stash, or any of the others. All of those companies use Git. They are not Git. Git allows you to track code changes over time by author with a set of commands to search, manipulate, and revert history. In simple term, Git creates a commit. A commit is just a set of changes tied to an author, time of day, and other information. As many commits as you want can be added to the graph. At any commit, you can branch off and create new commits on the new line. Any of these branches can be merged into any other branch, including the main line. Commits can be squashed into one commit, and commit messages can be edited. Also, Git commits can be reverted, just in case they don't want terrible code. Git is a very complicated piece of software, but the interface and operations are very simple. And in this course, we're going to be going over installing and configuring Git, porcelain and plumbing commands, inspecting Git history, branching, merging, and rebasing, undoing changes, and remote repos and GitHub. I hope you enjoy this course, and in about another month or two, I will be releasing part 2, which will go over all the advanced features, advanced techniques with merges and rebases and conflicts, and of course, just really diving into some of the more complex parts of Git. But in this course, you should be able to get everything you need to become quite proficient in the real world, including understanding how Git works. The name is the Gitogen.
Git.
All right.
Git is the Distributed Version Control System, VCS. Nearly every developer in the world uses it to manage their code. It has quite a monopoly on VCS. Developers use Git to keep a history of their code changes, revert mistakes made in their code, collaborate with other developers, make backups of their code, and much more. Boot.dev CLI. Throughout this course, you'll be using the Boot.dev CLI to run our tests, which are just CLI commands, against your local environment. Install it now if you don't already have it. All the instructions and troubleshooting info are on the GitHub page. Make sure the Boot.dev CLI install worked. Boot.dev version.
All right. I didn't have to open that. I just had to open a command prompt. Oh. Oh, heck. What? Why is this not working? Oh, that was the Webby installer. Whoops. I guess we should follow the instructions. I was just like skipping over trying to get it done real quick. Install Go 1.22 or later. The Boot.dev CLI requires Golang installation and only works with Linux or Macs. If you're Windows, you need to use WSL. Make sure you install go in your Linux WSL terminal and Windows terminal UI. There are two options. I did the web installer. Read the output of the command and follow any instructions. I did, but it like... Run go on your version on your command line to make sure installation works. If it did, move on to step 2. Go version, go 1.24.1. Okay. Install Boot.dev CLI. Boot.dev version 1.17.0. Ow, my chest hurts. Is that normal? I don't like smushing this window. Sometimes things print out weird. Return. They have like a certain format and everything gets like wrapped. On Boot.dev login. Okay. Logged in successfully. Task failed successfully. Once boot.dev command is working, log in window and follow the instruction. Boot.dev login. Yeah, we did that.
If you're stuck, reach out in the help forums of the Discord. Once the boot.dev command is working, log in and follow the instructions. Boot.dev login. Run versus submit. Lessons have a series of commands that run on your local machine, and a series of tests. It will check against the results of the command. There are two ways to run these commands. Run and submit. Boot.dev run ID. This will run the commands and show you the results. It's to be used for debugging, but it won't tell you whether or not you've passed the tests explicitly. Boot.dev run DS. This will run the commands and give you pass-fail feedback. It will also mark the lesson as complete on the website. If you get it wrong, however, you'll potentially lose your sharpshooter spree, so be sure to use run first. You can copy the run submit commands with the ID ready to go from the test.
Oh my god. Okay, first thing in the day, right? I was like, so what does S stand for? Submit? Fucking obvious.
Assignment. Once you have the CLI installed and you're logged in, copy and paste the run command from the right into your terminal and execute it. If it's doing what you'd expect, printing rebasing is based, then run the submit command.
Rebasing is based. And then we would just run the submit command, which is just up-s. I hear a crying baby. Just make sure everything's all right. Check the output of your CLI command to see the results breakdown. Echo rebase echo rebasing is base, expecting exit code 0. Expect should std out to contain all of rebasing is based. Exit code 0. Yeah.
Install Git. Git is a command line tool, just like the Boot.dev CLI. Let's install it. Assignment. First, check and see if you already have Git installed.
Git version. I have Git installed. Well, you see a version number, you're good to go. Run and submit the tests. Exit code 0, std out contain all of Git version 2. Command exit code std Git version 2.43. So they gotta constantly be updating their answers, right? Somewhat for their versions. Or if I wonder if there's a way to automatically do that. And there probably is. Read the fucking manual. I have, what's it called? Pica? I don't eat the things, but I chew on non-edible things. Pica is an eating disorder in which a person eats things that are not usually considered food. Young kids often put non-food items like grass or toys in their mouths because they're curious about the world around them. But kids with pica go beyond that. Sometimes they eat things that lead to health problems. No, I don't have full-grown pica. I just chew on... I like to chew on plastic. Like, I like to chew on plastic straws and, like, lollipop stems and stuff like that.
RTFM. One of the best parts of using Git is that all the documentation is fantastic, but that wasn't always the case. Git was known as being the most obtusely documented tool of all time, but alas, times have changed. Assignment. Let's take a look at the official Git manual. Run the following command in your terminal, man git. Shortcuts for the manual. Q, quits the manual. J, one line down, one line up. D, half page down. U, half page term. Search for term N. Next search term N. Previous search term. Search for the term authors, all caps, and answer the question.
Slash authors? Does it have to be capitalized? Alright. Git was started by Linus Torvalds. It's currently maintained in Junio Amano by Junio? Spanish? Espanol? Who created Git? Linus.
Command syntax. Throughout this course, you'll see commands written like this. Command, required, optional. Arguments in angle brackets are mandatory and must be provided when running the command. Arguments in square brackets are optional and can be included if needed. For example, to create a new directory in your terminal, you would run ahmkdir directory name. mkdir is the command directory name, is a required argument.
Make directory. Command arguments in angle brackets are required. Arguments in square brackets are optional. Who's to say, really?
Porcelain and plumbing. In Git, commands are divided into high-level, porcelain commands, and low-level, plumbing commands. The porcelain commands are the ones that you will use most often as a developer to interact with your code. Some porcelain commands are git status, git add, git commit, git push, git pull, git log. Don't worry about what they do yet, we'll cover them in detail soon. Some examples of plumbing commands are git apply, git commit tree, git hash object. We'll focus on the high-level commands because that's what you use 99% of the time as a developer, but we'll dip down into the low-level commands occasionally to really understand how Git works.
99% of the time, blank commands are used to interact with Git, porcelain. Penguin? Wait, penguin's an option?
Quick config. We need to configure Git to contain your information. Whenever code changes, Git tracks who made the change. To ensure you get proper credit, or more likely blame, for all the code you write, you need to set your name and email. Git comes with a configuration both at the global and the repo project level. Most of the time, you'll just use the global config. Assignment. Let's set your identity. Check if your user.name and user.email are already set. Git config dash.
Nope. Nope. They aren't set them. I recommend using your GitHub username and email. I don't think I have GitHub set up. This email's already associated with an account. I don't remember what my password is. Did I make this already? That is not what I copied pasta. I don't know what my password is. It just like auto-populated. Can I log out? Sign out, sign back in. Wow, I made the GitHub account a while ago. Okay. I made it 2 years ago. Why did I make a GitHub account 2 years ago? Don't email me. Branch master. We're using master for now because it's like Git's default. But later we'll change it to main, which is GitHub's default. Just bear with us for a second. You have the right to bear arms. You know what I mean? Like this, bear arms. Heavy guns way less, 30% less. Make sure it worked. Concatenate. Is that git config? Default branch master. Okay, cool. Copy pasta one of the following commands into your terminal. Run the CLI to test your solution. Expected exit code 0, 0. Spit out should contain master. Yeah. Can we submit?
Config. The very first step of any project is to create a repository. A Git repository, or repo, represents a single project. You'll typically have one repository for each project you work on. A repo is essentially just a directory that contains a project, other directories and files. The only difference is that it also contains a hidden .git directory. That hidden directory is where Git stores all of its internal tracking and versioning information for the project. Webflix. In this course, we'll be managing content for Webflix, an imaginary self-hosted video streaming application. Webflix serves content directly from a Git repo. Assignment. Navigate to somewhere on your file system where you'd like to store your project. Once you're there, create a new directory called Webflix and cd into it. mkdir.
Do I just make it in like the home directory? Downloads Go World Bank. Make directory Webflix. Oh, I'm sorry. MK directory webflix. Let's not typo this. CD webflix. Go into it. Once you decide, create a new Git repository. Get in it. Get in it. Initialized empty Git repository in home combs 171 webflix.git. Nice. You should have a hidden Git directory in your webflix directory. This means you successfully create a new Git repository. List-A contains contents of the directory to confirm. Burn instrument to test. Expecting exit code 0. Expecting std out to contain all of head, config, description, hooks, info, objects, references. Alright, then we submit that bitch. Good. Next. Do... Copy this one. Alright, next.
Status. A file can be in one of several states in a Git repository. Here are a few important ones. Untracked, not being tracked by Git. Staged, marked for inclusion in the next commit. Committed, saved to the repository's history. The git status command shows you the current state of your repo. It will tell you which files are untracked, staged, and committed. Assignment. Every good content management system needs a table of contents. Create a file in the root of
your webflix directory called contents.md. Alright, so... and add the following text to the file. Can I make file? Is there a make file command? Oh, touch. Ah, I keep forgetting. Add the text to the file. I forget. Echo contents. The double arrow greater than operator will append the data to the end of the file. Using a single one will overwrite the contents of the file if it's already existing. Okie doke. So like that. Syntax error, unexpected. So is it just... Echo contents, and I don't have to put this. Good. Save the file, then run git status. Run and submit the tests from within the webflix directory. Use git add file to include in what will be committed. Nothing added to the commit, but untracked files present. Use git add to track. No commits yet. Expecting exit code 0. Std out to contain all of untracked files. Contents.md. Concatenate contents.md. Expecting code 0. Expecting std out contain all of contents. Oh shit, was I not supposed to do... Was I supposed to do pound contents, not just contents? Hashtag. Okay. Expecting std out contain all of the hashtag contents. Yeah. Exit code 0. Expecting std out to contain all of untracked files contents.md. I think this is okay. We'll submit this. Staging.
Staging. The contents.md file has been created, but as we saw, it's untracked. We need to stage it, add it to the index with the git add command before committing it later. Without staging, every file in the repository would be included in every commit, but that's often not what you want. Here's the command: git add path to file pattern. For example, git add iusearch.btw assignment. Add contents.md to the staging area. Run git status again. Run and submit the CLI tests.
Alright, so we're gonna... I can't rip this lollipop stick to save my life. I don't know why. Alright, so we're gonna git add... path to file pipe pattern. Changes to be committed. Git cache file to unstage. Use git rm cache cache file to unstage. So it's staged now. Expecting code 0 stood out to contain changes to be committed, new file, contents MD. No commits yet. Changes to be committed. Contents, new file, contents.md. Yeah. All right.
Commit. After staging a file, we can commit it. A commit is a snapshot of the repository at a given point in time. It's a way to save the state of the repository, and it's how Git keeps track of changes to the project. A commit comes with a message that describes the changes made in the commit. Here's how to commit all of your staged files. Git commit-m your message here. Assignment. Commit the contents.md file with the message add contents.md. You wouldn't normally start a commit message with a, you just write the message. But we're going to use letters to help us easily identify commits in this course. Run git status again, and you should see that the file is no longer staged. Run and submit the CLI tests from inside the webflux directory. Tip: if you screw up a commit message, you can change it with the -amend flag. For example, change the last commit message. Git commit amend -m add contents.md.
All right, so git commit -m add contents .md one file change, one insertion, create. Okay, so then we git status. Nothing to commit, working tree clean. No longer staged. Run the tests. No pager log -n1. Expecting code 0. Stood out to contain add contents.md commit. Okay. That is staging and committing.
Half of Git. You've learned half of Git. Well, not really, but kind of. Half of your workflow as a developer will just be 3 simple commands: git status, git add, git commit. It's most of what you need to work effectively as a solo developer. Another 40% of Git is about collaborating and storing your work on a remote server. The last 10% is mostly about fixing mistakes, rolling back changes, and other advanced topics. Don't worry, we'll cover those too.
Which command adds a file to a staging area? Is that it? No. Add. Status just tells you what the status is. Check the status, then you add it, and then commit, essentially. Confirm.
Git log. A Git repo is a potentially very long list of commits, where each commit represents the full state of the repository at a given point in time. The git log command shows a history of the commits in a repository. This is what makes Git a version control system. You can see who made a commit, when the commit was made, what was changed, a commit hash. Each commit has a unique identifier called a commit hash. This is a long string of characters that uniquely identifies the commit. Here's an example of mine. 5bay78c3 892831C01E7144B9BA228A4F. For convenience, you can refer to any commit or change within Git by using the first 7 characters of its hash. For mine, that's 5bay786F.
Bay.
Assignment. Run the git log command. You should see your commit. Notice that git log, assuming the log is long enough, starts an interactive pager. You can scroll through the log with the arrow keys and exit by pressing Q. Next, run git log again, but this time use the -n and -no pager options to limit the maximum number of commits shown, and more importantly, to run it without the interactive pager. E.g., git no pager log -n10. Run and submit the tests.
Alright. Git log. You see your commit. Notice the git log is, assuming the log is long enough, starts an interactive pager. No, it's not long enough. Git log again. So git no pager log -n10 returns 10 values. And very nice. Looks good. Bada bing, bada boom.
Different hashes. My latest git commit hash was 5BA786FC93 82831C101E7144Horbate A4F. You may have noticed that even though you and I, both have the same content in our repositories, we have different commit hashes. While commit hashes are derived from their content changes, there's also some other stuff that affects the end hash. For example, the commit message, the author's name and email, the date and time, parent previous commit hashes. All this to say that hashes are almost always unique, and because they're generated automatically for you, you don't need to worry too much about what goes into them right now. Note, hash equals HA. Git uses a cryptographic hash function called SHA-1 to generate commit hashes. We won't go into the details of how SHA-1 works in this course, but it's important to know because you might also hear commit hashes referred to as SHAs.
Shays or shas? If you're not careful, false usually. Which does not affect the hash of a commit. Timestamp. Message. Author's preferred text editor. Author's name and email. Preferred text editor? Who gives a shit? Blooming.
The plumbing. So far, we've been using Git in a porcelain manner. But to sate our insatiable curiosity, let's take a look at some of the plumbing. It's just files all the way down. All the data in a Git repository is stored directly in the hidden .git directory. That includes all the commits, branches, tags, and other objects we'll learn about later. Git is made up of objects that are stored in the .git/objects directory. A commit is just a type of object. Assignment. Use git log -n10 to
totally
the
missed
plumbing.
this. Sorry, I gotta play this again.
So far, we've been using Git in a porcelain manner. But to sate our insatiable curiosity, let's take a look at some of the plumbing. It's just files all the way down. All the data in a Git repository is stored directly in the hidden .git directory. That includes all the commits, branches, tags, and other objects we'll learn about later. Git is made up of objects that are stored in the .git/objects directory. A commit is just a type of object. Assignment. Use git log -n10 to find your commit hash again. Use lsal to list the contents of the .git/objects directory.
Okay. So git log dash n10. Use ls al to list the contents of the git objects directory. Have to be in there, right? Look for a directory that suspiciously matches the first two characters of your commit hash. Contents.md. Of the git objects directory. Oh, I thought it would. It's in the hidden git directory. So do I just go cd.git and then ls-al? And then answer the question. Which of these most closely matches the format of the path to the file? Look for a directory that suspiciously matches the first two characters of your commit hash. I don't remember what we... Oh. There's no commits directory. Am I going into the objects directory? Get objects 65. I think I'm lost. Use git to find your commit hash again. Right. Add contents.md. Before BA. Oh, A4. It's me. There it is. So it's git / objects / the first 2 digits, which is 65 in this case, in the answer key, and then a string of the rest of the, so like this.
The object file. Let's take a look at what's inside this suspicious commit object file. Assignment. Try to cat the contents of the commit object file.
Concatenate EA It's a mess. The contents have been compressed to raw bytes. Try again with the xxd command to print the contents of the file in hexadecimal format. So concatenate. Oh, it's xxd. Oops. Might need to install xxd. That look good. Do that again, but redirect the output to a temporary file so the test can read it. All right. So this again, and then we're gonna send it to /temp/commit object x text. And it's the file using the answer to the previous question. Copy and pasta. Let's see with this. Oh. Legs hurt. Maybe I have to sit with my leg full today. Oh, that's better. Run the CLI commands to test your solution. cat/temp/commit object text. Expecting exit code 0, expecting std out to contain all of 0, 10, 20, 30, correct. Alright. Then we submit for credits. What's interesting is, okay, so you can read it out with xxd, or hexadecimal.
Cat file. Luckily, Git has a built-in plumbing command, cat file, that allows us to see the contents of a commit without needing to futz around with the object files directly. Git cat file -p hash assignment. Use the cat file command to view the contents of your last commit. For the CLI to be able to check your output, do it again, but redirect the output to a temporary file. Bash cat file command here, tmp/catfileout.txt. Run and submit the tests. Tip: use git log.1 to get the hash of your last commit.
Okie doke. So we're going to use a cat file command to view the contents of your last commit. So cat dash file. Command not found. Oh, git cat dash file. Luckily, Git has a following in a cat file that allows us to contents can be to the objects files directly. Dash P. Pretty print object content. Pretty print. Oh. For the CLI to be able to check your output, do it again, but redirect the output to a temporary file. So git cat file. Git cat file hash. Look at Git's boolean that allows us to see the contents of a commit without needing to futz around with the object files directly. I'll just type hash, do I? Git log -1 to get the hash of your last commit. Oh. That's what the tip was. So git cat file print this. Add contents.md. So then we do that. We're gonna send this printout to temp/cat file out.txt. Okay. Cat temp/cat file out text. Expect error code 0. Expecting std out to contain all of tree author committer. Jeez. Submit that shit.
Red wire, green wire, blue wire, mean wire. Hey,
All right. On 3, we're gonna cut the gray wire. Gray wire. I have red, yellow, and green. Oh, that's weird. I have gray, dark gray, light gray. Motherfucker. I'm colorblind. Oh well.
Trees and blobs. Now that we understand some of our plumbing equipment, Let's get into the pipes. Here are some terms to know. Tree, Git's way of storing a directory. Blob, Git's way of storing a file. Here's what I got when I inspected my last commit. Git cat file, P5B786FC93, E809831C00144B9B222A4 tree. 4E507FDC69, 04CDA4A30613224C97C1, C467D. Author the prime agent at AOL.com, 1705891256, by 07 herd committer. The prime agent, e.primeagent at AOL.com, 705889 herd A. Add contents.md. Notice that we can see the tree object, the author, the committer, the commit message. However, we cannot see the contents of the contents.md file itself. That's because the blob object stores it. Assignment. Use git cat file -p again, but this time with the hash of the tree object instead of the commit hash. You should see a blob object with its own hash. Use cat file again to view the contents of the blob object. Run that same command, but this time redirect the output to a temporary file. Stomp blob file docs, run and submit the tests.
Okay, so we're gonna do the tree hash. Copy pasta that one. So we're gonna do git cat file with proper typing -p tree hash. There's the blob. Use cat file again to view the contents of the blob object. Wait, so take the blob hash and then same function essentially. Hashtag contents. Run the same command, but this time redirect the output to the temporary. So then we're gonna send it into /temp/blobfile.txt. Nice. Okay. Run the tests and see if they work. Temp blob file text error code 0. Std out contents. Yep. Submit. Actually, you know what's really funny is that a lot of the music, video game music that I listen to, I've never played the games. Like, I've never played Cuphead. I probably should. I heard it's wicked fucking hard, though.
Reminder of command syntax. Git log, Q to exit, arrow keys to scroll. Git cat file -p hash note. Log is a porcelain command, while cat file is a plumbing command. You'll use log much more often when working on coding projects, but cat file is useful for us in this course to understand Git's internals. Assignment. Create a second file called titles.md.
I gotta pause music with voices in it. One can't have like two voices going at once. It wouldn't be bad if like I could have my left ear play the chorus because it's like on the center monitor and then my music's on the right monitor, play through my right ear, but it's all coming at once and I'm just like, okay. Git log, Q to exit, arrow keys to scroll. Git cat file -p with the hash. Log is a porcelain command while cat file is a plumbing command. You'll use a log much more often in working in coding products, but cat file is useful for us in this course to understand Git's internals. The goods. Assignment. Create a second file called titless titles.md and add the following text. It's touch, right? I always want to be like, make file. Touch titles.md. And then we want to add in the text.
Fools, how report. Doomed. Detected and caught. No more deals. It's over. The final act. You're doomed. No more grace. It's over. This house of hope. You're doomed.
It's just Arrow, right? Alright, I can just copy this, right? Double arrow operator? Oh, echo. Oh, you gotta echo it into the thing? Alright, so you gotta tell it what to do. You can just put like text. Oh shit, I fucked that up. I have double titless. I only need one titless. Speaking of titless, I saw The Substance last night with keep looking up there for the camera. Camera's here. With Demi Moore and what was that actress's name? Margaret Qualley. Dude, that was a fucking crazy movie, man. That was crazy. It's like, I guess it's horror. Horror/sci-fi. Okay, that's what it's categorized as. Dennis Quaid was amazing too. He plays the like overtly like old man who sexualizes young women, TV exec. He plays it really well. All right, so he plays it well. Now I want to look at titless. There we go. That's right. Save stage and commit the file to any commit message you like, as long as it starts with a boo. Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta run to the bathroom. We'll save and stage this and commit it. Clean up my candy. I'll get more candy. I'll refuel on candy. They're bib down. Yeah, I gotta clean my office this weekend. Alright. So we have to save, stage, and commit the file. So we saved it already. So fast. So blurry. Okay, so we saved the file. Stage and commit. So we need to... git add the file. Titles.md. So that stages it. Then we need to commit it. The message? Is that what M means? B. Your stood out contain a B. Add titless. I've never played Hades either. Wait, let me go through all the games on this list that I've played and haven't played, just real quick. So Doom, I've played Doom, but I haven't played the newer Doom. StarCraft 2 I've played. Red Dead Redemption 2 I've played. GTA 4. God of War I've played. Doom, regular Doom I've played. No Cuphead. Halo, yes. Zelda, yes. Doom Classic, yes. San Andreas, yes. Hitman, yes. Mega Man, no. Rise, Son of Rome, yes. Mortal Kombat, yes. Mario, yes. Skyrim, yes. Batman Arkham City, no. OG Far Cry, yes. Never played Undertale. Played like a little bit of Bastion. And then some of these like Nintendo DS games I've never played. Like Attorney at Law, Ace Attorney. Alright, so then we do get cat file. Look at the hash. Git log. Then it's git dash print git cat dash file dash p hash. B : add titles. That's the comment that I added. So it should be good. Then we can run the tests. So we saved, staged, committed. No pager log minus N10, exit code 0, comment B add titles. Yeah. Submit it. Nice.
Storing data. Git stores an entire snapshot of files on a per commit level. This was a surprise to me. I always assumed each commit only stored the changes made in that commit. Optimization. While it's true that Git stores entire snapshots, it does have some performance optimizations so that your .git directory doesn't get too unbearably large. Git compresses and packs files to store them more efficiently. Git deduplicates files that are the same across different commits. If a file doesn't change between commits, Git will only store it once. Assignment. Use git catfile p to view the hash of the blob for the titles.md file in your last commit. Save that hash somewhere in your notes. Add a new directory to your project called quotes. Inside, add 2 files. starwars.md. May the force be with you. I find your lack of faith disturbing. I am your father. Do or do not. There is no try. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Impossible!
Dune.md. May thy knife chip and shatter. A great man doesn't seek to lead, he's called to it. An animal caught in a trap will gnaw off its own leg to escape. What will you do? When is a gift not a gift? Stage and commit both files in a single commit with a message starting with C, for example, C, add quotes. Use the command catfile to view the hash of the blob for the titles.md file, again in the latest commit. You should notice that it still has the same hash, because the file hasn't changed. Run and submit the CLI tests from the root of your repo. Tip: you can stage each file separately, git add quotes starwars.md, git add quotes dune.ember, or you can stage all the changes in your repo at once, git add dar.
Ah, that's interesting. An animal caught in a trap will gnaw off its own leg to escape. What will you do? Dude, I'm James Francoing that shit. That was 107 hours. I've never read the Dune books. But I heard it gets weird. As the story goes on. It gets fucking weird. Ah, this thing is burning me. So hot, I think it's like singeing the like little pieces of fabric I have sticking out, like little threads or whatever. It's like melting them down. Okay. Use git catfile.p to view a hash of the blob for the titles.md. File on your last commit. Save the hash somewhere in your notes. To view the hash of the blob for titles MD. Okay, let's save this. This is titles hash. Blah. Add a new directory to your project called quotes. Inside, add 2 files. So can I do like dot arrow / quotes? Bash quotes, permission denied. Make directory. The quotes. We want to make the file Star Wars.md and Dune.md. It alphabetizes it. Ooh. Add the new directory project quotes inside, add the 2 files. So then we have to, what was adding text? Echo. Star Wars.md. Oops. Into Star Wars.md. Uh-oh. Why is it getting hung? Echo into titles MD. Oh, I was putting the exclamation points. No, it's right. It's because of the quotes, right? What's the issue with this? So how would I add the new directory to Barcode inside the two files? You... I don't have to do... fuck, am I have to do this like one line at a time? So what if I did like... May the force be with you. That works. Is it these additional quotations? Shouldn't matter. Maybe the dashes? I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm so used to typing up. Control up and down. Backslash enter? Nope. Nah. Yo, motherfucker. Oh. Didn't work. It's the quotes. It's getting stuck on the quotes. Is it the double quote? How do you return? Is it just like formatted poorly? That worked. Because of the quotes. They're trying to echo too many quotes. Text without single quotes. Oh, is this single quote? So if I did... Oh, fucked up. I don't know. I'll try doing it this way. Maybe it won't work because of the quotations aren't right. Good enough. If once I submit it and get the right answer, if it comes back with the right answer, yeah. See, these don't have quotes on them. I'll ask the bear about the quotations on the quotes. Stage and commit both files to a single commit with a message starting with C. So git add dot we need to stage and then add it, right? Let's git add period. Git commit too legit to quit. C add quotes. Stage and commit both files in a single commit with a message starting C add quotes. Use the command cat file to view the hash of the blob for the titles.md. Titles. There's a cat log, wasn't it? Git log. Use the command cat concatenate file to view the hash of the blob for a titles.md file again in the latest commit. Does it say cat file command not found? Cat file the hash of the blob. The title is MD. Where was titles? Cat file command not found. Oh, just like concatenate the file? No. View hash of blob. That is an angry baby. Command cat dash file. Annual cat. Look at the manual. When file is dash, read standard input. So is this, oh my god, is it cat dash titles .md? No. With no file, when file is dash, read standard input. Not what I want. Use the command cat file to view the hash of the blob. What is the cat file command? And step 4. Oh my god, it's git cat. Fuck a duck. Git cat file. Fucking A. I don't know the... Oh, I do know the hash of it. Jesus, because I saved it. I saved it. Okay. I have to print it. Yeah. Use the command cat file to view. I think I need food. I gotta message the wife. Dude, it was like a 5-star ambulance going on. And now look at her. Forgot, this is a camera. She's fucking passed out. Dead. Dead to the world. You should notice that it still has the same hash because the file hasn't changed. Yeah, I know that. Run and submit the CLS test from the root of your repo. The Shingo, Korean Shingo pears are good. Ravioli. I think I'm hungry. Sockeyed salmon. Pumpkin seed granola. Almond butter. What is this one? Fire roasted peppers. Ooh. Probably like Korean pears and oranges. All right. No pager to log minus n. Collecting exit code 0. C. Add quotes. Star Wars MD. Excuse me. Dune. Ooh, these are spaced weird though. Is that okay? I think it's alright. Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of that. I didn't realize that it was fucking git cat file. My brain's cramped there. Boot.dev's like, you done for today, son. You done.
Git config. Git stores author information so that when you're making a commit, it can track who made the change. Here's how you might update your global Git configuration. Don't do this yet. Git config add-global user.name the prime agent. Git config add-global user.email the prime agent at aol.com. Let's take the command apart. Git config, the command to interact with your Git configuration. -add, flag stating you want to add a configuration. -global, flag stating you want this configuration to be stored globally in your past Git config. The opposite is local, which stores the configuration in the current repository only. User, the section. Name, the key within the section. The prime agent, the value you want to set for the key. Assignment, you can actually store any old data in your Git configuration. Granted, only certain keys are used by Git, but you can store whatever you want. Set the following useless key value pairs in your local Git configuration for the webflags repository. Omit this global flag to set them locally. webflags.ceo, webflags.cto, the lane agent, webflags.valuation mid. Git has a command to view the contents of your config. Git config-list-local. You can also just view the contents of your local config file directly. cat git/config. Run and submit the tests. Tip: Git version 2.46.0 added git config list to replace git config-list, though both still work.
Okie doke. So we're gonna get git config add. We're not doing global to set them locally. Webflix CEO, the Primogen. Config. Add. CTO. Lanogen. Valuation. Mid. And then to view it all, I don't get stopped on my wheel. Git config. List. Local. CEO, Primogen, Lanogen, Mid. Yep, looks right. I feel I'm like whistling booger all the way to the bank. All right.
Get. We've used netlist to see all the configuration values, but the get flag is useful for getting a single value. Git config get key keys are in the format section, key name. For example, user.name webflyx.ceo assignment. Use the -get flag to get the value of the webflyx.valuation key from your local Git configuration. Run and submit the tests.
Git config. Get user.name. Webflix dot valuation. Mid. Oh, it just returns whatever the value was set to. Looks right. Submit.
Unset. The unset flag is used to remove a configuration value. For example, git config -unset key assignment. Remove the webflyx.co key from your local Git configuration. Verify that it was removed. Try using -unset to remove the entire webflyx section. Answer the question.
Git config unset webflix.cto. It is gone. Git config unset webflix. Key does not contain a section webflix. What happened when you tried to unset the webflix section? The entire section was unset. It failed because it can't unset an entire section. It needs a key. Boom. Duplicates. Oh shit, new episode of Invincible's out. Okay, I should not have just Google image searched her because there's probably some weird shit out there.
Duplicates. Typically in a key value store, like a Python dictionary, you aren't allowed to have duplicate keys. Strangely enough, Git doesn't care, unset all. The unset all flag is useful if you ever really want to purge all instances of a key from your configuration. Conversely, the -unset flag only works with a single instance of a key. Git config unset all example.key assignment. While only the most unhinged of projects operate this way, some projects, including Webflex, allow for multiple CEOs. Let's add a few more CEOs to the Webflex configuration. Git config add webflex.ceo Warren.
Only the most unhinged projects operate this way. Welcome to the shit show, partner. All right. Some projects, including Webflex, allow for multiple CEOs. Let's add a few more CEOs to the Webflex configuration. All right, so git config add webflex.ceo Warren, Mr. Warren Buffett, Carson, and Sarah with an H. That's my wife. She'll like that. Sarah with an H. Take a look at the new curse configuration. Yep. Remove all the CEOs from the Webflex configuration once using the unset all flag. So git config unset -all webflex.ceo. There. Oh, I typoed. Oh, where's it? Now they're gone. This local 0 CEO. Yep. Submit that shit. It was like, what's Duplicate's sister or brother? Duplicate brother. Paul Cha. Multi-Paul. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see it because of Amazon has some weird like blocking thing that like blocks the image from Amazon Prime or whatever. But dude, he's fucking Giga Chad. Look at this shit. He was in prison, so he multiplied himself because they have the ability. Multicate and Multi-Paul have the ability to multiply themselves, like I think infinitely, or however strong they are. I think Paul is stronger than Multi-Kate. So he multiplied himself in his prison cell, and he put one of his bodies up in the ceiling light, and then so he multiplied them so rapidly that it pushed out from the interior of the room out the front door, and it killed all his like duplicates. Like this, like it fucking smooshed to death. It's fucking crazy. Alright, so on the next one. Invincible is a good show. I recommend it if you haven't seen it.
Remove a section. As I pointed out before, the webflake section is nonsensical because Git doesn't use it for anything. While we can store any key value pairs we want in our Git configuration, that doesn't mean we should. The -remove section flag is used to remove an entire section from your Git configuration. For example, git config --remove section assignment. Remove the entire webflake section from your local Git config. You might notice that the default core section is still there. That's okay. Run and submit the tests from the root of the webflakes directory.
Git config. Oh, git config Newton. Remove section webflakes. Right, and then we'll look at the section again. The core ones are still there, right? I'm just gonna submit it because I think it's right. Whoa.
Locations. There are several locations where Git can be configured. From more general to more specific, they are system/etc/git config, a file that configures Git for all users on the system. Global git config, a file that configures Git for all projects of a user. Local.git/config, a file that configures Git for a specific project. Worktree.git config.worktree, a file that configures Git for part of a project. In my experience, 90% of the time, you will be using mass global to set things like your username and email. The other 9% of the time, you will be using -local to set project-specific configurations. The last 1% of the time, you might need to futz with system and worktree configurations, but it's extremely rare. Overriding. If you set a configuration in a more specific location, it will override the same configuration in a more general location. For example, if you set user.name in the local configuration, it will override the user.name set in the global configuration.
All right, so the scope is system global local tree. So suppose you set your username to prime at the system level, username to lane at the global level, and username TJ at the local level. Which value will Git actually use, TJ? Which is stored in the user's home directory. Remember, home is ~/. It's Global?
What is a branch? A Git branch allows you to keep track of different changes separately. For example, let's say you have a big web project and you want to experiment with changing the color scheme. Instead of changing the entire project directly, as of right now, our master branch, you can create a new branch called color scheme and work on that branch. When you're done, if you like the changes, you can merge the color scheme branch back into the master branch to keep the changes. If you don't like the changes, you can simply delete the color scheme branch and go back to the master branch. Under the hood, a branch is just a named pointer, text, equals sent to pointer sent to a sent to programming, then storing the data sent to itself, to a specific commit. When you create a branch, you are creating a new pointer to a specific commit. The commit that the branch points to is called the tip of the branch. Because a branch is just a pointer to a commit, they're lightweight and cheap resource-wise to create. When you create 10 branches, you're not creating 10 copies of your project on your hard drive. Assignment. Check which branch you're currently on by running git branch. Run and submit the CLI tests. Tip. Remember, you should be on master, because we set init.default branch to master at the start of the course.
Is this where the idea of the like Disney timeline, the Marvel timeline comes in? The branches. Git branch. Master.
Default branch. We've been using Git's default master branch. Interestingly, GitHub, a website where you can remotely store Git projects, recently changed its default branch from master to main. As a general rule, I recommend using main as your default branch if you work primarily with GitHub, as we will. How to rename a branch. Git branch-m, old name, new name assignment. Change your global Git configuration to use main as the default branch. Change the init.default branch key to main. Git config keys are case insensitive, so default branch and default branch work the same. Git just prefers lowercase when displaying them. Check your current branch, git branch. You should notice that you're still on master. That's because all you did was change the default branch for new repositories. To make this repo, use main, rename the master branch to main. Run git branch again to make sure you're on the main branch. Run and submit the CLI tests.
Alright, change your global Git configuration to use main as a default branch. So git branch m is it old? Old name is master. Master. We want it to be main. And git branch init.default branch main. Just the init branch. Food. Oh, I'm eating late today. It's not a good idea. Thanks, babe. I didn't time it well with you. Well, I didn't know the broccoli was gonna be made fresh. Oh. Oh, but I didn't know I had to do that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We really need linguine. Might want to add that to the shopping list. What? Alexa, turn Sarah's office on. You gotta be firm with her in the commands. You have it on your phone? Alexa? Might be easier to do it that way. It says main. Oh, it did rename the master branch to main. Alright, we'll take a lunch break here. So I can eat. Our stocks are doing today. Not good. This breakdown's not good. Typically, I wait. Once the spy starts scraping the bottom of the daily Bollinger Band that I have set, I wait for like 2 days, 2 green days, and then I'll buy back in. Well, it's been pretty volatile recently. Probably gonna bounce hard off of this line right here. $567. He might not get down there. I mean, it's only another 0.5%. Excuse me. Maybe I should buy a spy call. Everybody's scared about tariffs. Ain't gonna do shit. In the long run. Essentially what happens is we implement a 25% import tax, like in addition. Any country that was like 0 before, they're like, fuck you, and they'll go up to 25% too. So that's a net wash. But countries where like the import tax is like hundreds of percent, like India, they're not going to adjust by 25%. They're going to adjust by less than 25%. If they adjust at all. So ultimately, it's not going to make a difference. People are worried like, oh, all the car parts and stuff are made out in the United States and shit like that. It's going to cost 25% more. They're not going to charge more than 25%. A lot of car companies nowadays are scumbummy. They try to make money off of you through subscriptions and stuff. Like I have to have a subscription service for my Tesla to have internet when I'm on the road. Or maybe I should turn my phone into a mobile hotspot. Ooh, that is red. Yeah, multi-top. And then this is the breakdown. Oh, it's actually hitting the 200-day moving average. It's 40% electronic technology and technology services. Wow, it's over 7% Apple. A lot. Is this how Voo is weighed too? 7.27. Boo's a little bit different. Okay, Microsoft is considered technology services. Same thing with Meta and Alphabet. I mean, Alphabet's Google. Google has like 3 class shares. What the fuck? Google and Google. I didn't realize Berkshire Hathaway was like top 10 holding in Naboo. Why the fuck do they hold Class B shares? I'm sure they could hold Class A shares. Dude, they're 750,000 a share. What's your portfolio? 1 share of Burke, eh? Oh, they had good earnings. That one's not even that bad. Ba-na-na-na-na. Alright. There's so much junk people try to sell. Taylor mid. White ice. The hell? Ew. Don't ever buy a mattress used, by the way. It'd have bed bugs. Oh shit, big Larry Bird. 750 bucks. What the fuck? Larry Bird, you don't get no legs, Larry Bird. $15-foot sailboat. I thought they're not supposed to advertise like car salesmen in Craigslist. I'll report this. Sometimes on Craigslist, what I find is like free scrap wood and shit. We go to the free. Like red cedar from Upright Closet Bureau. Cedar's good for making furniture because then bugs don't get into it. They like line make like veneers for call it drawers and shit. I'm good at fixing treadmills too. I need an eco tank.